Number one message is that where we're at right now is not righting our fiscal ship. We need $10 trillion of deficit reduction over the next decade just to stabilize our debt to GDP, which is probably all the United States needs. We don't need to balance the budget fully. We just need to stabilize, get debt growing at the same rate as the economy. And what they're doing in Congress right now is not even close to that. It's a $4 trillion bill if you make permanent all of the tax cuts in it. And even if you include tariff revenue is only raising $2 trillion at this point. So we're still making the debt situation worse.
The critics of Ernie Tedeschi, Martha Gimbel, and the rest, what they would say is the growth rate is too gloomy at CBO. We're going to be more optimistic about morning in America. We're going to get a better little g and life will go on. Is that possible, feasible? Remotely, could that be a constructive outcome?
I mean, look, any more growth that we can get is nice. It's cherry on top. But extra growth that we get is not nearly going to be enough to solve the problem for us. So even if we had 3% growth, sustained for a decade, which is infeasible. Most economists think that trend growth in the United States is 2%. We would not stabilize the debt to GDP over 10 years alone by getting to 3% growth. And, this bill, they go above and beyond just straight TCJA extension. So there's probably going to be a little bit of fiscal impulse in the short run. But this bill is not going to get us to 3% growth persistently, especially when you add on top the tariffs that they've passed, which, shave off half a point of growth this year and keep, GDP persistently lower in the long run.
Ernie, I know you and your team have done a lot of work on this, but I think most market practitioners believe the effective tariff rate by the end of this year is going to come in somewhere between 15 to 18%. Yet, recession probabilities are down, and basically people are calling for the U.S. economy. I think it's growing at a 4% plus clip here in the second quarter. So look, we all wanted Knicks Pacers to go 9 games, but just where is this catch up of the hard to the soft data here?
Yeah, it's a great point. We're at 15% effective rate right now. And we think that takes off half a point of growth off of 2025. Now, look, we want to be very sober about what that means. Half a point off of growth is a significant headwind to the U.S. economy. But on the other hand, if you thought that the U.S. economy was 2% in 2025 and you shave off half a point, you're at 1.5, which is, not as great as it was, but that's not recessionary by itself. I will say, though, what we don't capture in our modeling is the uncertainty effects of tariffs. And so what I tell people is that we probably don't have a central estimate in our estimates of tariff effects. We're probably a floor in terms of the effects. So there is still, more recession risk than there was a year ago.